let's go over certain common mistakes that many people make while speaking English. One thing before I say that, in written English, your grammar has to be very accurate, very correct. So there are all kinds of resources that can help you. Spell checker, grammar checker, or somebody else can help you. Well, while you're speaking, certain things are flexible. You don't have to be absolutely accurate about your grammar. Focus on the thought, correct pronunciation, correct terminology, delivery of the thought, and organization. Finally, it comes down to what you say. Is the other person understanding or not? And the other way, whatever that person is saying, are you understanding or not? Are you progressing towards a goal? Suppose you are meeting somebody for a business meeting to strike a deal. You're trying to make a deal with a customer from a different country. That person is not interested in how wonderful your English is. Okay. That person is interested in making a business deal with you. Did he or she understand you, believe in you, and agreed with you? That's the purpose. If that's the purpose, then stay with simple, short, technical words and sentences. Say slowly and clearly, they will understand. Okay? It's quite possible that you may take somebody as an example whose English is fantastic, will not be able to make any deal at all. So only English is not good enough. All right, let's go over some grammar anyway, because many people make mistakes, and you shouldn't make too many mistakes, grammatical mistakes, when you're speaking, although it's somewhat flexible. All right. Wrong word order. That's very common. For example, this is a wrong sentence. Sentence got correct words, but in the wrong order. Read that sentence. We last year tested at lab the new material. You have developed some new material. I understood it, but it's to an extent it's occurring to me that I had to rethink what you might have meant instead of immediately understanding. What was the problem? The words are switched in the wrong order. We, I understood that. Last year, I understood that. Tested, I understood that. At lab, I understood. Finally comes new material. Whereas in standard English, this is how you have to say. We tested the new material at the lab last year. Okay? Or you can start with, last year we tested the new material at the lab. One of these two sounds more normal. Okay? So here's a rule that you should try to adhere to as much as possible. Subject, these are for assertive sentences. Subject, then verb, then object. What? Who? Did? What? Where? When? Okay. Subject, verb, object, place, and time. That's the order. So it'll be nice to say we tested the new material at our lab or at the lab last year. Okay. If you put last year in the beginning, sometimes to emphasize that we did it last year, you can put it in the beginning, like yesterday I saw you. That's perfectly fine. You normally put a comma here, but while speaking, just give a pause. Like last year, get the attention and do that. All right. Now questions. Sometimes in questions, the word order is different. You know that, right? Did you do the experiment? Was the result verified by anyone? Okay. This is the order. And at the end, raise the voice. Anyone. Can you tell me how the result was? Now look at that. Can you tell me, that's a question, how the result was? Subject, object, and this is a verb. This is the thing. when you're already asking a question, this part, you don't put interrogative form again here. You do not say, can you tell me how was the result? No. You change that to this form. Can you tell me how the result was? Okay, this is how you say. Can you tell me how to go to that place? That later part is just one piece. It's not, that should not be put in interrogative form. The first part, can you please tell me? Then what? In one group of words. All right. So you have to go over this a couple of times, catch your own mistakes. Oh, I said, can you tell me what time it is? See, is came at the end. That sounds right. Can you tell me what is the time? 2 times I'm putting question in one sentence. Doesn't sound right. Can you tell me what the time is? That's British. Can you tell me what time it is? That's American. Very slight difference. All right. Missing wrong article. I have seen that many times. Even I miss the article sometimes because our languages probably do not use so many articles. The and the, rarely. Okay. Many languages don't have these kind of articles, so it's a problem they have. For example, I say, most important thing is, then whatever it is. There's supposed to be a the most important, the most important. The only thing, many people just miss that the only, the part. They say, only thing you have to know, the only thing, okay? A large number of people, no, a large number of people, a large. So these things are quite common while speaking. A grammar checker, online grammar checker may catch these things, so people do not consciously put these things, but they should try to use the correct article. Like, I have cold. No, I have a cold. Why a cold? Don't ask me. It's English. This is how it is. I have a cold. I have a fever. He has a high fever. Okay. How about this? I have an MBA or a PhD, a bachelor's degree. This is how you say. This a and an becomes necessary. So keep watching once in a while that you're missing some articles. You'll find that, yes, then correct it. We'll give you many more examples in the rules, but you have to practice. That's the most important part. In correct tense or verb, it happens sometimes. I've seen many people, they probably don't know that. Why am I not teaching the entire grammar? It'll take another 4 years. Do you have time? 4 years? Do I have time? I don't have time to teach you the entire grammar. I'm just teaching you where people go wrong. I'm fixing the problems, okay? When did you came? One top politician or minister asked me, when did you came? Now, did already involves past tense, so it becomes come. When did you come? Here, I will be going, as many people say, I will be going there. Sometimes you can make it simple. I will go there. Okay, will be going, will be, it just sounds sometimes, in some cases, it just doesn't sound fancy. It just sounds wrong, okay? Just simply say, I'll go there today. Okay, I will be going there today. I don't know what it means. Why make it unnecessarily complicated? I will be starting at 5 o'clock. That sounds wrong. How long does it take you to start? It just happens. I will start at 5 o'clock, finished. Many people say, I'm having 2 cars and I am having 2 brothers and 1 sister. What having? I have. Finished. I have. That's it. Okay? Don't make it unnecessarily complicated. English is complicated. Don't add to the complication. Okay. Wrong preposition. A wrong preposition is a big problem. Phrasal verbs. Sometimes adding a preposition to a verb changes the meaning completely. completely. Okay, so learn, for example, go, get, pass, all these things. You add some preposition to change its meaning. Okay, really changes the meaning completely. For example, some people say, now I'll give you an example later. Let's take some of these things. The shop is close to our house. That's correct. Fine. Some people think close, not close. Shop is closed means shut. Close is near. They think it should be the shop is near to our house, but no, near our house. To doesn't apply to this near. Okay. Some people, I have seen textbooks written, I listen music. No, listen to. Okay, the music. Okay. Should know which preposition goes with which verb to mean what. He can read in that time. He can come on that day. What's wrong with that? Yeah, okay, here, on that day, on a day, and in that time. Okay, so you should use that in and on correctly. You do not say, I'll come in Monday. You say, on Monday. Okay, those things you should know. While speaking, those things are important. While writing, definitely very important, but there you have help. A large number of people, they hear wrong thing, they copy, they perpetuate this wrong thing. For example, I have heard a lot of people, many degrees, maybe I used to do the same thing too. He passed out in 2018, he passed out from this college. Okay, doesn't make sense. Pass out means to faint. Okay, unless you are from a military school. There, I think pass out is a proper word for graduation. Otherwise, you say he graduated in 2018. Do you understand? Pass out means to faint, either by hurting himself or drinking too much or something. It's wrong. Wrong grammar. He passed out. Okay, he graduated. He finished his degree. He received his degree. Those are the correct terms for it. Okay. What's the meaning of pass away? To die. To die is pass away. So pass, the word pass has maybe 20, 25 meanings. If you add all these prepositions to it, again, there may be 5, 10 different meanings. Okay. Pass on. It's like, take this and pass on to others. Keep giving forward. Okay. All right. So some more common grammar mistakes. Sometimes we translate from our mother tongues to mother languages to English. So we say, you are coming with us, and then change the tone. You are coming with us, and we think that becomes a question. No, you got to change the word there. Are you coming with us? The tone also, but also the word order in English changes. In many languages, just change the tone, it becomes a question. You're coming with us? They understand. There's a question from the tone. But in real English, when you speak, you have to change that to, are you coming with us? Okay, are came here, right? Are you? Verb comes first, okay? Some people, many people say, very complicated something, then finally, no? Now that's supposed to be a question, yes or not. But that's not English way of forming the question. For example, you will be going there, no? That's, many people ask that, especially in India. How do you fix that problem? You have to say, this is how you have to say. You can say, you are going there, aren't you? Or you'll be going there, won't you? Won't you? Will you not is won't. You are going there, aren't you? Aren't you? Won't you? Don't you? Isn't he? Those things Make it sound like you are asking a reply, asking for a reply, yes or no. Okay, this you have to get used to that formation. Okay, I have some lesson on that too in details. Lesson 10 on Spoken English 2020. I talk about these problems. All right, subject verb agreement. You have probably studied these things for tens of years. If you have not gotten that, it will be very difficult for me to teach all that in few minutes, but let me tell you where people go wrong. You figure it out. A team of engineers. Should there be have or has? Engineers is plural, but we are actually talking about a team, which is a singular number. So has developed this robot. Okay, a team of engineers has developed this robot. Okay, double negatives is a problem. Redundant words, we just throw in some words. Confusing negatives. Try to be short, simple sentence without any confusion. We should talk. Okay, I cannot able to do this. Something very similar I hear a lot. I cannot able to. I cannot do this. It's fine. I cannot. Cannot was one word. Or I'm not able to do this. It's fancy of saying it. But adding this cannot and able to just sounds wrong. Okay? Just say, I'm not able to do this, or I cannot do this. One of the two. All right. Didn't you tell me, if you ask this kind of negative question, it's correct grammatically, didn't you tell me that you'll do this work by tomorrow? It's fine. Many people do ask that question. There's nothing wrong with that question. But the answer becomes confusing. If he says yes or no, you don't know. From translated from some languages, it becomes very difficult. I find it's better to tell me, did you tell me then this? Then he says yes and no. It becomes very clear whether he did or not. If you start with negative question like this yes, no answer, people get confused. If he says no, it seems like no to this no. Okay? If he says yes, that means agreeing to this no. Why not ask direct questions? Okay. Wrong usage of words, that happens, okay, because we translate a lot from our languages into English, and nobody has corrected that. We have not grown up in real English-speaking environment. It can cause some confusion when you're talking to people from other countries. Locally, it's okay. You can speak your way and people understand. But if you think someday you have to deal with somebody else from far away, different state, different company, different country, so it's better to learn the correct way. Many people say, you only told me. That's translated from some other language. Only does not mean that. So you yourself told me. If you say, who told you that? You yourself told me. Not you only told me. You yourself told me. Okay? I only did it. I've heard that many times. I only did this. No, I did it myself. That's correct English. Okay? Only has a different meaning. He couldn't pass also. I've heard that. He couldn't pass also. You have to say he couldn't pass either, or either in American English, either. Okay? You get it? Simple things. All right. What else can go wrong? Some more mistakes. Singular and plural. We should know which words, especially technical words, do not have plural form. They are uncountable. For example, aircraft. I hear a lot about, fancy people pronouncing Rafale, aircrafts. Both are wrong. It's Rafale, aircraft. Aircraft does not have plural form of aircrafts because it comes from craft. Okay, aircraft. All right. Audience. You don't say normally. I think you say, oh, there was a large number of audiences. No. Audience is uncountable. You can verify that. I may be wrong too. It's not my mother tongue, fortunately. Advice. Advice. I went to the professors to seek their advices. It's wrong. Advice is singular or uncountable. Equipments is wrong. Equipment. You can say pieces of equipment. Okay? but equipment does not have plural form of equipments. It's wrong. How about this? Information. He gave me many informations. No. He gave me much information. It's uncountable. You cannot change that to informations. Okay? Software. Surprisingly, I didn't know that about, say, 10 years ago, 6 years ago. That software, hardware, these things are considered to be collection, a singular number, okay? It's not plural, so you cannot say, give me 2 softwares, or I made 5 softwares. You have to say, I made 5 software tools or 5 applications, but you cannot say softwares. All right. The same, you know, these children know this. Sheep doesn't have plural form, sheeps. Hare, hare. Fish, it is a collective noun, okay? But in special cases, you can add s to it, make plural. For example, different types of fishes, okay? Suppose you are talking about different species of fishes, you know, big ones, red, blue. Oh, look at the aquarium. They have so many different types of fishes. You can say that. Cheeses. I thought this material noun, cheese, shouldn't have plural, but there are different types of cheese. When you're tasting it, something you can say, oh, they had different types of cheeses for breakfast. Okay, you can say that. All right, wrong expressions. Sometimes somebody from some movie or somewhere introduces the wrong English and people copy it, and I don't know why. This is not right. Some people say myself, and then their name. It's wrong, grammatically wrong. Nobody else talks like that. That's wrong in English. Just say I'm Vijay instead of myself, Vijay. Big chest, come over there. Myself, yeah. Go yourself. Okay. Myself is not correct here. You have to say I am Vijay or my name is Vijay. It's very formal. When you're on the stage, there are a lot of people there. So my name is just the way I probably said. My name is Ranbir Sinha. Okay, so everybody listens right away. Okay. Some people say this is, and then tell their name. That's wrong English. If you're introducing somebody else who's standing next to you, okay, you can say I'm John. This is my friend Thomas. Okay, very nicely. Put your hand. I don't know how to show. Very nicely. Not put the finger like this. I say this is John. This is, you can say. Or if you're an anchor reading newscaster from somewhere, a reporter, at the end you can say this is John speaking from wherever for this company. On the phone, most likely you can't say this is so-and-so, your name. But when you're face-to-face introducing yourself, just 2 ways of doing it. I'm Vijay, or my name is Vijay, or your name. Okay, all right. Some people say my cousin sister is getting married, or my cousin sister is a doctor. No, in English there's no cousin sister or cousin brother, just cousin. Okay, so is it really important whether it's a male cousin or female cousin? If you have to, probably the next sentence when you say he or she, it becomes clear. But normally in English you don't say cousin sister. Okay, it confuses people. All right. He's arriving today night. I have heard that too, today. It's translated from own language. In English, simply tonight. Today night becomes very difficult to understand. Today night. So try to switch to tonight or this evening. You cannot say today evening. You can say this evening. Yeah, okay? Okay, this morning, not today morning, this morning. Okay, all right. Why, what, who, where, how, etc. have 2 meanings. You know that? You know that, right? Tell me why you want to do that. That's not a question. Do you know that? That's not a question. Tell me why. Tell me your name. That's not a question. Similarly, tell me why you want to do that. It's not a question. You're asking him to tell something, not answer. There's a slight difference. You have to say, tell me your name. It's not a question. What is your name? It's a question. All right. Do you know what his name is? Do you know is the question part, and this part is one thing. Do you know this? Do you know what his name is? Okay. Do you know his name? Just exactly the same meaning. Okay. What is his name? If you put here, that becomes question, another question. But in that, it's not grammatically right. How do you say this? Why do you want to do that? That's a question. All right. Good. See, did you understand what I'm trying to say? When you say why, it means just liye. Why can have kiss liye and just liye. Here it becomes just liye. What? Kya? What can also means jo. Who? Kaun? Wo. Where? Kahan? Jahan. The same word. Depending on the sentence, meaning changes. How? Kaise? How can also means jaise. All right? Good. Now let's see. Strange local usage of English phrases or idioms. You know what idioms is? A group of words. When you say literally, it can mean something, but actual meaning is something else. Similar, but it means something else, some deeper meaning. All right. Instead of, see, many people say, instead of by hearting, they say, English teacher, very good teacher on YouTube, was saying by hearting. No, this is not the right way to say it. It's called learning by heart. You have to use that word, learning. Okay, learn by heart is to memorize. By heart is not a verb. Learn by heart is the verb. Instead of saying by hearting, say learning by heart. That's memorize. Just simply say memorize. I've heard people say, when in Rome, be a Roman. No, the actual phrase, you have to almost always read the actual phrase, put it the way it is in your sentences. Otherwise, don't use it. When in Rome, do as Romans do is the correct phrase or saying in English. Use that. Do not modify it too much. Okay, unless you're very famous, then you can claim poetic license. Some people do that. Then you can change things. All right. Some people say, I could care less. That's not the right one. The right one is, I couldn't care less. I care so little that I couldn't care any less. You know, that means not important for me. I don't care. It's a nice way of saying, I couldn't care less. It's not a nice way of saying it. It's not. I was wrong. This is quite rude. I couldn't care less. Quite rude. But people use it. Similarly, you can say, I couldn't agree more. That means I agree so much that there is no more I can agree. I agree a lot. I agree entirely. That's what it means. So I couldn't agree more. It's a fancy way of saying I agree 100%, or I agree totally. Okay, I agree with you fully. Okay, some people say that's too good. Too good to be what? Just say that's very good, or that's the best. Too good. Then something is missing. Okay, too good for what? Say that's excellent, and that's very good. It's good enough. Okay. Some people say mention not. When you say thank you, some people say mention not. Try to avoid these kind of strange expressions. Just say you are welcome. Not just welcome. Welcome has a different meaning. You are welcome is a response to thank you. Somebody said, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You say, you are welcome. Okay? My pleasure. That sort of answer. These mention not, and I have heard in some strange old movies, and many people are learning it, thinking that it's fancy English. one has to be careful. Many fancy-looking people are not very smart, okay? We know a lot of them, right? When they fail, they start joining politics. Okay, off the computer. Some people, instead of saying switch off, turn off, they think this is a verb. They have heard from somebody else. Can you on the switch? I've heard that, but that's not correct. You have to say, can you turn on the switch? Can you switch on? One of the two. Okay, turn off or turn on, switch off. That's what it is. This one you have seen close to near to. It doesn't make sense here. That's all. So remember, correct form you have to use. These are very common mistakes people make, so I'm correcting you now. I'm not going to teach you entire grammar. That will take 4 or 5 years. Firstly, I don't know entire grammar of English. Nobody knows. It's too confusing. There are standard books, learn a little bit, but for verbal communication, you need very small part of those grammar rules. Okay, you'd never hear people say, it had been raining for 13 days, which you learn. You should know that such words, sentences exist, but you'll never ever use it. Maybe once in your lifetime. Why waste your time learning too much? Learn simple ones. Okay, this one you've seen in US, eraser. Eraser means what we call as rubber. Do not call it rubber in USA. People will misunderstand you. Class. Do you have a class now? Is that correct or not? I'm not sure. Class hour. Class hour. Yeah, right. Class hour. Many people in India call it period. Period is not American English in this sense, okay? So avoid saying such things. You'll be misunderstood. It has happened to some people, I know. That's why I'm telling you. So you say, do you have a class hour now? Okay? All right. Bus timetable. Yeah, if you say bus schedule or schedule, people get confused. Just timetable, okay? Simplify the communication. If you have to act very fancy, act with those who think they are very fancy. Offensive words. Many people don't know when they learn English that some of the commonly heard words are actually offensive, bad words, okay? So you should not, they say it's slang. No, it's actually vulgar, some of the words. So you shouldn't use them. There are differences between offensive words, vulgar words, words that should not be used in polite conversation. Okay, there are certain things that are politically incorrect, politically wrong, so you have to avoid those things. Stay formal. For example, never use this word, oh hell. You think it's very cool. It's not. In formal situations, many people get very angry and offended if you use this. Oh damn. It's so common. People say that. For example, in India, okay, it's considered to be a very bad word. Okay, so don't use it. Once you get used to these words, they'll slip out and you'll be in trouble. People say, my goodness, he's a professional and talks like this. Happens. Okay, they do not think that, okay, maybe in India it's okay to use, but they just get shocked. Oh my God, it's using that. Depending on some situation, company, people probably use these words among friends, but try not to make a habit of using this. I've heard words like, I'll tell you, I should not say that, but I'll tell you, shit. It's actually a very bad word. Don't say that. You know, there are lots of these bad words. Don't say that. Racially prejudiced words. We don't know that some of the words you're not allowed to use. For example, in India, or a long time ago, and all over the world, the formal name of certain groups of African was Negro. Okay, Negro group. Now that's considered to be a bad word. People get offended. Except in certain specific cases. For example, American Negro University. That name has probably been stolen and kept. Otherwise, you should not call a dark colored person or somebody of African origin as Negro. Why the language has changed, I don't know, but you should be aware of that. You call them African. They live in Africa, African. That's where human beings came from, okay? It's a very respectable group of people, wonderful continent, you should have enough respect for them. If they didn't exist, you would not be there. Your parents came from there, okay? Your grandparents or somebody. So take it from me. Respect everybody. That's very important. So because you probably don't know that this is not considered to be a polite word anymore, I'm telling you that. Any kind of word which is looked down upon in our group, that turns out to be, over the time, considered to be a bad word. For example, Jew was a perfectly fine word long time ago. Jew. But now people are avoiding saying that. In most of the conversation, they say Jewish. He is Jewish. So things are changing. For example, red Indian is not a polite word. You can call Native American. Okay. The same Brits, Britons, who gave these words, they are saying, oh, you should not use that anymore. So I don't understand what it is, but try to avoid it. Why argue about these things and create a bad situation? I'm just making you aware of that. You should know. So suppose you are talking to Americans, don't use the words like red Indian, Jew, black also nowadays is not considered to be nice, as a group of people. Negro, no. Some people don't know that. That's why I'm warning. Okay? Many people don't know. They may get themselves into trouble. You are not supposed to say, what else? Anyway, the tone is also important. The way you say, people may think, okay, he doesn't know. But your mind should be clear first. All right. Okay. Now, common polite expressions in spoken English and smile. Have you noticed that sometimes I smile? That's exceptional. If you can keep a gentle smile, just gentle smile all the time on your face, it gives you a big advantage. I see some of these newscasters. Firstly, they have nothing good to say, only negative, and even their face is like, I just turn it off because it ruins my mood, ruins my evening. I like people who have got slight positive attitude that shows in their smile. Okay? Everybody likes that. I don't want to mention those people's names. They may get very offended. I don't mean to offend anybody, but I should give them some training. Find some positive things to say. Tell us something good. Don't waste our time. And put a smile so that I feel like watching your face for 1 minute, at least. Okay? All right. So, let's go over some polite expressions in spoken English. And don't forget the smile, gentle smile. Not too much. Shouldn't look like a clown. But professionals should have just gentle smile and should change between completely serious. Expression should be right, but should never lose the smile completely. Should not be too worried. World is not going to fall apart, okay? Let me tell you that. Thank you. Many languages, in many languages, you just simply smile and people think that's thank you, okay? In English, you explicitly say thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You'll learn various ways here. Thank you. Say thank you. Remember TH. Thank you. Do not spit on the other person's face. Thank you. Practice that. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. This is somewhat informal, but that's fine. Thanks. Okay. The tone must be correct. It should sound sincere, not thanks. That means, you didn't help me. I'm not thanking you. I'm just saying thanks. That's thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot. That's got a different meaning, okay? You have to be sincere. Thank you with a smile. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. One of these, not all of them, okay? Thanks. Or thanks so much. I hear that a lot nowadays, okay? Thanks so much. How much? I don't know, but that's correct. All right. The reply should be, you are welcome. You are you are combined. You do not say you are, you say you're. Welcome. Do not say just welcome. Say the full thing. You are welcome. How about this? It's my pleasure. That means I liked helping you. It's my pleasure. One of these you can use. Thank you too. Sometimes I just thank you also, or thank you too. Why do I say that? Because I get bored of saying you are welcome every time. That's why. Usually when I make any kind of exchange, or some kind of deal, or anything with another person, I think of a mutual favor. Okay, he helped me, I helped him. Okay, at least I learned something. So I said thank you too. That's perfectly fine. Some people simply say thank you. You meaning you are thanking me. Actually, I'm thanking you. So thank you. That's fine. Different styles. You can start with something very simple. You're welcome. That's it. All right. Some people say no problem. That's very informal. That's all right. That's informal. Start with formal. You're welcome. Another way of saying thank you is I appreciate that. Okay, I appreciate that. Good. Whenever you ask for a favor, use the term please. Many people don't know that. Many people don't know that in English, saying thank you, please, etc. are very common. You have to get used to it, okay? Please, you're not lowering yourself by saying please or being polite. You are showing that you are familiar with the Western culture. You apply it inside. You know these expressions. It makes it easy for you. Okay, so please, and the tone of the voice is important. Excuse me, can you please help me with this? Excuse me. This is how you say. You do not say, hey, hello, sir, can you help me? Where's please? Now, where's the tone? Where's excuse me? You should know the English expressions, right? Okay. Excuse me, sir. If you call somebody sir or a lady ma'am, it's nice of you. Very nice. They like it. Okay, so they may help you. Excuse me. And courtesy doesn't cost anything. That's probably one of the few things I learned in my English course in IIT Kharagpur in 1976. The courtesy costs nothing. So you have to be polite. Okay, it doesn't cost you anything. It just proves that you are well brought up. You are a cultured and civilized person. Okay, excuse me, can you please, and the tone, can you please help me? Can you please tell me whatever you want to know? Could you please, I have heard that many times, could you please do that? That simply means, can you please? Could you please pass me, you can say, could you please pass me that book? Could you please pass me that brochure? You can say that. That please is a part of it. Please can also go at the end. At the end of a sentence, there you have to put a comma or a pause there. Okay, pass me that. Pass me the salt, please. Pass me a cup, please. Pass me that spoon. That sort of thing. Okay. All right. Pass me that piece of luggage, please. Yeah, luggage. You don't say luggages. Luggage. I forgot to mention that. I should add that. Okay. So some people, if they don't understand this, what? That's not a polite way of asking. Some people say, what? What did you say? Why can't you be polite? In English, this is how it's. Pardon me? That simply means, pardon me is American. I beg your pardon as British. That simply means I did not understand or did not hear properly. Can you repeat it? In just 2 words, people understand what it is. Pardon me. Or you can say the full sentence. Sorry, I didn't understand. And they'll probably slow down and repeat it again for you. Pardon me. That's it. And it's not really a question, but the tone sounds like a question. Pardon me. That simply means please repeat slowly and clearly because I did not understand. That's it. So don't say, what? Do not behave like that. You are professional. Do not forget that wherever in the world you go, you are creating an impression that reflects on your culture, on your country, on your society. Please behave properly. All right. Some people say, you go to a store, some people say, what do you want? That's not the way to ask. Somebody comes to your store or whatever you meet, ask them politely, how can I help you? How may I help you? It's very formal. How may I help you? How can I help you? Can I help you with something? Those are a nice way of saying, instead of, what do you want? We should learn certain courtesy. I'm just telling you because I've traveled all over the world. I've met all kinds of people. I think we are doing very well now. We have to mix with the rest of the world. Certain good things we must learn from others. Okay, we can teach certain good things. We can learn certain good things. Okay, all right. You say, what would you like? What would you like, sir? What would you like, ma'am? Can I help you, ma'am? What can I help you with? Those are correct. What can I do for you? That's also a question mark here. You cannot see it. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Do not say the harsh way I had taught you earlier that not to say. What can I do for you? No. Pronunciation, the smoothness, all these things, and tone, all these things matter. What can I do for you, ma'am? How nice does it sound? Okay. If you are asking for something, instead of saying, I want this, I want that, this sounds horrible, okay? If I have a customer like that, I'll close the door, okay? Really? Yes, okay, somebody has a little money, I want to sell, but please have human respect for each other. Part of it is from not knowing the language, part of it not being taught properly. One has to learn polite behavior. So I'm finishing it up with this. I would like, you can say, instead of I want, you say, I would like that piece of, that book, please. Or you can also say, can I have a look at that, please? All is please, okay? I would like, showing your interest, I would like, not I want. Who are you? Want. Yeah. Okay. Some people make it very fancy. You go to a store and you want to, or an office, you want them to help you with something. You say, I was wondering if you have 5 minutes for me. I was wondering if you could help me with this. You will not believe the amount of help I have received from other strangers in many countries, just because I was polite. Okay. People in general are good people, okay? If you are nice to them, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, probably, they'll respond positively, okay? Be polite. If you start with something like, I want this, what is this? Of course you will not get good treatment, okay? It's your fault, sorry. You should learn how to behave and speak properly. I was wondering if you have, people have made free photocopies for me, did not charge a penny. Well, this is nothing. They have done a lot more for me, just because I was polite, okay? I was wondering if you have a copy machine and I could get some copies, please. And they'll say, yeah, sure. How many do you have? 5. Can you give me 2 minutes? And they'll do it for you, okay? You could say, I'm looking for the toilet, please. Or some people will say, a bathroom, that's fine too. I'm looking for. So they'll show you. Okay, this is how to ask. You do not throw direct questions. Where's the toilet? Where is the toilet? Not like that. Please, learn polite conversation. How about greetings? Some people say, hi, sir, hi, ma'am. This mixing hi, which is casual, with formal sir and ma'am. That sounds really funny. So this is what you have to say. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. To anyone. I say good morning, good evening, sir, ma'am, to anyone. Okay, I don't care whether they are ministers, CEOs, my auto rickshaw drivers, or somebody asking for money, or it doesn't matter. refer to them as sir and ma'am, because if I don't respect them, they'll not respect me. That's simple. Okay. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. You should get the right tone also. Good morning. Good evening, sir, ma'am. It's always good to be polite. Casual way, how are you? No, how are you is formal. How are you? The casual ways are like this. The same thing. Depending on who you're talking to, you could try to be a little bit casual. If you have known somebody for a long time, if you always say, how are you? Sounds a little bit strange. You can start switching if you want to, only if you want to a few friends. You can say, how are you doing? How's it going? Those are very casual ways of asking. The reply to answer that, you say, I'm fine, thank you, which is a perfectly fine answer. Some people say, no, come on, make variations. It's not necessary. Nobody really that interested in how you're doing, and your answer is also not all that interesting. It's just a human courtesy to ask, how are you? And you say, I'm fine, thank you. After that, you can say, how about you? Some people say, what about you? I have never heard that from real English speakers. When you say, how are you? Say, how about you? Okay. What are you doing? I'm doing this. What are you doing? Then it's what? Normally, how about you should be correct, I think. Doesn't matter, really. As long as the tone is okay, your intention is good, it's fine. If you get too excited, and if you know this thing, say, great, thanks. Okay, great. Not only I'm fine, thank you. Say, great, thanks. There are many other ways of answering. Just stick to one or two. It's not your mother tongue, so don't try to be too fancy with it. Introduction. How do you introduce yourself? Casually, you can talk to anybody. You can say, hi, I'm Susan, or whatever your name is, right? Your name. Hi, I'm Susan. This is my friend, David. Okay, you've seen that. This is how you introduce. You say, and they tell your name, or you can, if they introduce it to you, you say, it's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Susan. Nice to meet you, David. Okay. What do you do? Should not ask right away. Nowadays, a lot of people they meet right away. What do you do? Why? Why should I tell you? I do a lot of things. I'm not that interested in telling everything to you right away. We just met. Okay. After some conversation, it may come up. How are you? Where are you from? All that. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Have you been here before? Yeah. So, is that your son? You can casual conversation. Later on, you can say, what do you do? Who do you work for? These are things. Do not bring it up right away. Very politely, you may say, if I may ask, what do you do? May I ask what you do? All these variations, you can say. Some people say, what's your profession? Okay, I think that's acceptable. That's all right too. Very common expression, who do you work for? My answer is usually nobody, because I don't work for anybody. I work for myself, okay? Who do you work for? Okay. When leaving, after a nice conversation, you shake hands again and you say, it was nice meeting you. See the difference? Right after you learn about somebody, you say, it's nice to meet you. When you're leaving, you say, it was nice meeting you. Let's keep in touch or something. You can say, it was a pleasure talking to you. See you again. See you later. Hope to see you again. All these things are permissible. So write down one or two and read slowly, smoothly, with a smile, and that will come out naturally when you need it. Okay. There are some extra tips. Use short, simple, and unambiguous. I have difficulty pronouncing. Unambiguous sentences. Sentences with double meaning or confusing. Don't do that. Don't make sentences too complicated. Short, simple sentences with one meaning. Finished. Okay? Then you start with the next sentence. Next sentence. Speak slowly and clearly. That's very important. Use active voice and action verbs. Active voice, instead of saying this has been done by me. You just say, I did it. That's simple. Okay. Active voice while speaking. While writing, also active voice is encouraged more nowadays. In technical writing, sometimes you cannot avoid passive voice, but nowadays it's becoming more common to use active voice. Also active verbs. What active verbs? We'll talk about it later. Okay, we have too many things to cover in one day. If you make a minor grammatical mistake, do not go back and try to correct it. Give me a few seconds, let me correct my grammar. This makes no sense. Just continue. Make sure you are speaking slowly, clearly. Minor grammatical mistakes will be forgiven. Nobody will care about that. If the main point is conveyed, that's all. Break the habit of using too many fillers. I have been talking to you for a long time, right? Many hours. I have been recording for the last 2 days, I think 6-7 hours a day. Have you heard me say, well, I think those are fillers. I don't use them. Very rarely. It's okay to use fillers, but not so often. Some people start the sentence. It becomes a habit. It's not a good habit, okay? So you have to find some better fillers if you really need to think about something. Well is a good one. I think. Let me think about it. So that's an interesting question. Those are good fillers. Gives you time to think and doesn't sound boring like okay, good. Learn to understand informal English, but speak formal English. I have gone through that many times. Wherever you go, you'll meet all kinds of people. Not everybody speaks Oxford English. Very few people do. Learn those informal things, but try to stay with formal English as much as possible when you speak. Okay, everybody understands that. They know it's not your language. Okay, they would probably know that it's your third language or fourth language. But if you're speaking formal English, people will have enough respect for you, and they will understand everything. That's the main reason. Write what you want to say and read it aloud many times. Suppose you have to give a lecture, a presentation. Don't just go and start shooting your mouth. Write what you want to say. Short, simple sentences. Okay. Nice flow. Read it many times, slowly and clearly, with all these variations I was talking about. Intonation right, pronunciation right, the rhythm, all that, grouping and blending. When you need it, they will come out naturally.